Brandon. I'm here at 2920 Altura in Oceanside. I was in the neighborhood doing some other work, so I came to see this, even though I don't think it was going to be great, but I think it was worth seeing to show you, just so you know. The deal with this is an older neighborhood. I own one house in this general vicinity. Older neighborhood. All the houses are a little bit more run down. So what's happened over here is they've done a flip. So they've taken one of these kind of older houses and completely remodeled it, and they're trying to reposition it and sell it. I'm going to tell you, it looks nice on the inside, and you could probably get, I don't know, $2,900 plus or minus $100 for rent on this thing. But there's enough hair on it that I don't think it's a good, it's a great idea. First and foremost, it's the neighborhood. It's outbuilt for the neighborhood now. Whether they gentrify the rest of this neighborhood and it becomes up and coming and it's a place to live, that's one thing that could happen. But I'm not sure that, the rule of thumb, you don't want to buy the most expensive house in the neighborhood. You want to buy the least expensive house in the neighborhood. So this is probably more expensive than the rest of the neighborhood. They've done an addition and put a granny flat on there, which is why you could rent it out for more, and I'll show you that. But you see this garage here? There's no access to the house from the garage. So you got this garage, you close the door, you come in the front door. Again, I don't think it's the biggest killer in the world, but it's the kind of thing that would bother me somewhat, and always is going to make it worth a little bit less than a normal house. So you can see they got it staged in here. They've done a beautiful job with the upgrade, and I've pointed out windows before. These are the updated double pane vinyl windows, if you can see that. So much nicer than what was in here. The flooring, this is nice stuff. This is kind of a hardwood laminate, I believe. And this is the kind of similar type of stuff that we put in all our stuff that we do. So in other words, if you buy one of these places and they got crappy carpet and crappy flooring, this is one of the things that you will replace. That place in Altura had good flooring already to begin with. Remember that travertine? But this is stuff that's reasonably cheap, and we put in all the places. So the house itself is a 3-bedroom. They've opened up this kitchen, so this is really nice. The wide open kitchen out here into the dining. You have this formal living out here. All right. Everything's updated, everything's nice, everything's brand new, okay? And then you got this giant kind of, this was new. So I'm imagining all this is brand new square footage. I'm sure it was permitted. I would look into that. If this was something that we wanted to make a bid on, I would check the permits for you. So I'm assuming that all this is brand new square footage, but I can't say for a fact. It might just be that room back there, which we'll go to in a second. I might have to go back, but I'm pretty sure that the original square footage of this place was 1,320 square feet, and now it's like 1,900 or 2,000. So it has to be that room is all new. Basically, the house used to end here, I believe. Okay, I'm going to take you back to the original 3 bedrooms over here, and all pretty much the same. Here's one, and again, everything looking good, but you can see there's no window covers on any of the windows, so that would be an expense, and that can be, I don't know, a couple thousand, 1,500, 2,000, depending on what you buy. I mean, it could be really expensive. I think I spent $7,000 on window covers for my house, but for the rentals, I would say like 1,000 to 2,000 is probably your basic. So here's the closet in the master, somewhat small, but again, this is an older house, 1,300 square feet. Originally, the master bathroom is tight, so it's kind of small. You only have one sink. You kind of make this door, if you can see, it's kind of getting in your way when you walk in, so don't love it. And then the other 2 bedrooms are over here. So one here, same deal, just a room. Another one over here. Same deal, just a room. They've updated this bathroom nicely. You'd either need a shower rod for there, or doors. The doors are more expensive, but they look better and keep the water from seeping out of the bath. Okay, so that's your original 3-bedroom house that was small. They put in this brand new big space back here, definitely new square footage. And then this additional bedroom back here, which technically they call it granny flat around here. So it's got its own bathroom. It's a huge bedroom, and it has a sink over there. You put your mini fridge right there. So there are some people, and it's got its own private entrance right there, as you can see. So there would be some people who would rent this out separately. Like, we couldn't do that with Diana. You wouldn't rent this to another person. But you know, for an example, you could rent this house out to, somebody might pay more for this because you might have like, it tends to be like Hispanic families that would do this. I shouldn't, I'm just, that's from experience. I'm not trying to be racist, but like, you might have somebody who rents this house, and then they either rent that room out separately to somebody in their family or their extended family or something like that. So they might rent this house for $3,000 and like rent out this room for $800 a month. So somebody might be happier to rent this house for $3,000 than they would be to, say, rent a comparable house in the neighborhood for $2,700, because they can rent that room out for I'm just spitballing $600-700. 800, I guess, maybe, and then they can make money that way. So that's the deal with this one. Look, I own one place like this. It works well from a rental perspective. I've never tested the market to try to sell it. They've done a nice job updating it, but it's just exactly what I told you yesterday. It's higher risk, higher reward. I think you could rent this thing out for basically around the same as you're going to rent Otana, maybe a little bit less. The price range on this is $579 to $589, which fits right into your sweet spot. It's been on the market for about, 3 weeks or so, so it's not selling. I'm just not sure that even at what our 567, your lower point, 567K, I believe. I'm not even sure that's not outbuilding the neighborhood, because I believe the flippers bought this. Now, granted, it was in a crappy condition and small square footage when they did it, but I think they bought this thing at 410K. I'm going to check out when the permitting was done and see if the flippers did actually all this extra square footage, because it's not bad, just a slight bit extra risk. I think you get it because you're a smart dude. Later.